As we discussed the inheritance in our previous lecture, today we are going to discuss the types of inheritance. So one of the most important concept in OP is that the inheritance. So inheritance allows us to define a class in terms of another class, which make it easier to create or maintain an application that we all know. So this also provide an opportunity to reuse the code functionality and fast implementation time, which we discussed in our previous lecture. So inheritance is one of the four pillars of the object oriented programming. It features that enable a class to acquire properties and characteristics of another class. So inheritance allows web developers to use their code since the drive class or the child class can reuse the member of the base class by inheriting them. So let's consider a real life example to clearly understand the concept of inheritance. So when a child inherits some properties from his or her parents, like we have the ability to speak, walk, talk, eat, so on. So but these properties are not specially inherited in their parents only. His parent inherit these properties from another class like mammals. Okay, so this mammal class again derive these characteristics from the animal class. Inheritance work in same manner. So during the inheritance, the data members of the base class get copied in the drive class and can be accessed depending upon the visibility mode used. So the order of the accessibility is available in the is always in the decreasing order. For example, from the public to protected, we have public and protected, private, public and protected classes, which we have discussed. So there are mainly five types of inheritance which we explore in this article: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical, and hybrid. So one of the most important concept in OOP is that of the inheritance. It allows us to define a class in the term of another class. So this also provide an opportunity to reuse and functionality and fast implementation program. So first of all, we have the single inheritance. As its name shows, in this type of the inheritance, one drive class inherit from only one base class, and it is one of the most simplest type of the inheritance. So we have some superclass and one superclass and one base class. Superclass is also known as parent class or base class. So we can consider it as parent, super, base class. All three names are used for it. And subclass, drive class or child class is known as subclass. It's also we also use the subclass here. So as you can see, single inheritance is one of the most simplest concepts. Next we have the multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance, as its name shows, that it has the multiple a single drive class and may inherit from one or two or more base classes. So here we can see that like A and B are the base classes, and we have C is the drive class. So C, one drive class, inherited from the two superclasses. Then next is hierarchical inheritance. Inheritance, it is the combo of the multiple inheritance in which the multiple drive classes inherit from the single base class. Here we have single drive class and multiple base class, and in hierarchical we have multiple drive class and single base class. So in multi-level inheritance, okay, in hierarchical is like a tree. So we have like it's have multiple branches. One drive class has multiple drive. One single class or one branch has multiple branches. Okay, we can also use or we can also consider it as a tree. Next, multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, in this type of the inheritance, the derived class inherit from class, which in turn inherit from another class. So the superclass for one is subclass for the another. We can also see this in a graphical representation here. So hybrid or virtual inheritance. So this is the combination of hierarchical and multi-level inheritance. Like in hierarchical, we have multiple drive class and single base class, or in multi-level we have a drive class inherit from one class and which inherited from another class. So here is the example you can see.